Hello and welcome. We are still talking apprenticeships with Grant Thornton and our apprenticeships team. This is one for the businesses to answer their questions about how they should be using the apprenticeship levy and why. So Justin, I'm going to start with a question to you because you speak with businesses and clients constantly about this. Why should an organisation look at doing a level 7 apprenticeship? What do you say to your clients?
Well, I think it's fair to say that organisations recognise the importance of investing in their leaders, and there's obviously lots of training courses out there. There's lots of ways that you can spend your money on these things, but I think the importance of doing the level 7 senior leadership program is that it's the breadth and depth that their people are going to get exposed to in terms of that learning. So from an employer's perspective, it's effectively the return that they're going to get for the investment that they're going to make, both in terms of the cost. Obviously, that's partly funded through the apprenticeship levy. That's funded through the apprenticeship levy, but also the cost in time that their people are spending outside of necessarily work trying to do the programs. The return that they get on that is really, really important. I think the program that we do with Cranfield really maximizes that return.
So if I were a business, I would be saying to you, yes, but what is the return? If I'm looking at one of the plethora of courses online and I can see something that's £500, or I'm looking at something like the apprenticeship levy, why is it this level that's so important? What is that return that you're getting as a business?
So I think the return is both in terms of, firstly, you need to make sure that the experience for the individuals is a really positive one, and from a learning perspective that they're getting what they need to from that. But it's also in the application. I mean, we all know that the best way to learn things is by doing them once you've learned it. And I think that's the real value of this, is you take something you do in the classroom, which is already very practically focused, and practically focused around things that they would understand and they would recognize, and then they can take that away. They're equipped to take that away and apply that straight in the workplace. So there's that, you're learning but also doing, and you're doing those around things that are really going to make a difference to the way that you do your role and the value that the employer gets from the individuals that are on the program.
I think the immediacy of being able to apply it is critical. I heard a horrifying stat the other day that if we don't use something within 6 days of learning it, we forget it. It doesn't stick. And the ability to, as you say, take it immediately and put it into their day-to-day work is going to bring much more value to an organisation than someone sort of doing a course in the evening in their own time that hasn't necessarily got that immediate return in quality of the work that's coming from that individual. Fabulous. Well, oh yes, absolutely, Ruth.
Yeah, if I could just add to that, quite often the individuals are appraised for how well they do their job, but less often they're appraised of how well they manage people or they lead their teams. So actually, it serves also as a really good retention tool for talent that's been identified, but also to explore whether the organizations have really untapped the full potential of their senior leaders and their individuals. And what this program gives them is a good all-round knowledge with the possibility to actually unlock some of even more potential in their people as they continue to grow in their careers.
So that long-term ROI is people staying, people being attracted and committing to their organisation. So Justin, then what? If this level is so important, why is it Cranfield Grant Thornton as a partnership that people should be spending their time on?
Well, I think as I was saying before, it's really important that people, when they're in the classroom, are looking at things that they recognise that are relevant to them, that are things that they see when they're back in their workplace. And I think that's the combination of obviously the teaching excellence part from Cranfield, but also the kind of practical real world experience that Grant Thornton brings to it. And that unique partnership, if you like, those synergy of bringing those two things together really means that the individual is going to get, the individual learners are going to get the most from the program. But equally, as an employer, you can be comfortable that what they're learning, they can apply in your business, in your organization. So that's going to make a real difference to you as an organization, not just in terms of in the longer term and how those people develop, but also as they go through the program, they're bringing things back to the organization, which gives the organization value straight off the bat.
So one more thing, equality, diversity and inclusion, it's so important. How can a level 7 apprenticeship be used to address some of the initiatives and challenges that we face?
Yeah, it is super important. And there's a couple of main ways that we see this with the organizations that we're working with. Firstly, lots of organizations recognize from a diversity perspective that they don't have the representation in their leadership groups that they need to have, so they can use the level 7 program as a way of introducing accelerated programs for example, females or ethnic minorities to help redress that balance. The other area that we do see, and I think this comes back to it being an apprenticeship, which is really, really important, is lots of organizations at the early career stage are bringing in lots more school leavers as opposed to graduates. And I think from that perspective, those people that are coming into, and there are loads of high potentials joining the organizations right at the beginning of their career, they can look forward and see that there is a progression with an apprenticeship badge on it, which shows that this is going to be something which is relevant to them all the way through their career. So I think from that perspective, from those two perspectives, the power of the apprenticeship part of the program is really evident to lots of employers.
Christina, you speak with a lot of businesses as well. Why do you say why Cranfield for them?
Well, Cranfield is such a great provider. We were actually the first to deliver level 7 apprenticeships within the UK, so we have a vast amount of experience. We were also the first provider to deliver the senior leader apprenticeship as well. So that meant we were the first through Gateway, the first to experience it all. So we're here and able to support employers to the full. We also have such great pass rates, so over 99% pass rates for our senior leaders.
That's incredible, and it speaks to the quality of the combination. I think between Cranfield and Grant Thornton, we've got amazing faculty. My favourite stat is the 6th in the world for teaching power, which means that around the world, business schools are using Cranfield resources, textbooks, case studies, simulations in other business schools. So at that point, you might as well just come to Grant Thornton and to Cranfield to learn from the source. I mean, why go elsewhere?